Guys, Kelly here again from Kel's Aquariums. Now, don't worry, it does look like a bomb's hit it, but we're dealing with stuff. Now, what I've done is I was getting fed up of dealing with the moving bed just in that section, because it meant I had to net off. Oh, you can't see it from that side. Sorry, I'm on my phone and not my proper camera because I'm doing it quick and I don't. I had to net off that so that they didn't come through, which was annoying. If it ever overflowed or I filled it too full, sometimes they went over. And it was just basically all a faff. So what I wanted to do was put more scented glass media. I've got loads of Bio-Ohm Ultimate Maxi and I wanted to fill it in a bit. So at the minute I've just got I've got a filter pad after my filter socks. And I know that's, you shouldn't have it that way around. Right, that's just to stop anything getting through. So these areas are clean. And then I've got my moving bed inside this reactor. And it's about 3/4 of the moving bed. It's not the full lot. Just one air pump though. The other one needed 3 air pumps just because of the sheer, the actual footprint of it. So it was a faff. Don't worry about this big black pipe again. Just a work in progress. I'm going to change that round so the water comes in a bit different out of the actual top of the thing. But what I did was I put a uni seal into the top of there. Instead of having to drill through the top, which I didn't really want to do, because that means if you ever want to do out else with it, you've got an hole in it you've got to fill. Just put it into the pipe, used a rubber seal and just an hose thing. Quality in it. But yeah, so you can see me moving beds moving. And it's going to be putting a good bit of oxygen back in here, because all that air has to come out. So what I'm going to do is when that comes back in, that's going to come through some sort of strainer into all the scented glass, so it'll keep this oxygenated quite nice. So I'll say mechanical, we've got a couple of socks, 3 socks, varying microns. A big bit of filter floss. This is at the minute just to try and clear it all up, because as you can see I've got where it comes in, you can see there's a filter sock over the outflow, real fine one, just to try and get some of the muck what I've disturbed. You can see it on that piece of foam. Floss, that ain't normally there. My pump's sat on a max spec brick, one of the nanosphere bricks, and I got a little £8 pump. 1400 litres an hour, just to see if it'd work. Clearly does. I've got it turned down a bit. 1400 was a bit much, so I've got a little tap on there where I can adjust the floor. And yeah, as you can see, I've got a moving bed. It's just so much easier to work with now. If I need to do I've got to build new lids, I've got to tidy up some wires, some cables, but I get to take two full air pumps out of the equation, and yeah, quite happy. So I'll shoot again when it's all back together and all the media's in. But I just thought I'd have a quick go while it's still in bits. These idiots haven't been fed, so they're going mental. Hello again guys, Kel here, back in the saddle again. So, things are sort of done. Just need to build one lid. So I'm going to start with what I've removed. So I've been able to get rid of 2 of those. Well, not get rid, but there was on them nails. There is still one next to them ink beds, which are doing the thing. And the horror show of white cable ties. If they was black, that'd look fine. So, as you can hopefully see, this is Sump 2.0. So, I've got 3 filter socks. Did you bang me knee? Old man Kellen. So, I've got 3 filter socks. One there, one there. They're bigger ones. They're biggish ones. They're only 4" across, but they're longer. And they're about 225 microns. They're the Red Sea ones. And then I've got one what's like 150 micron there, which is a bit smaller. Then we go into this one, which is sort of finished. I'm just getting comfy. Bear with me. So this one here is a bit more mechanical, and there's a max spec nano sphere brick thing. There's one in there. They're quite good. Very porous. I've done videos on them, check them out. Then I've got a big lump of filter floss, which needs just sorting out actually, look. Just needs just get a bit back there. Got my pokey stick, because I've been diddling about. So that takes the big muck out, them 3, and that takes that's medium muck, maybe fine-ish, 150 micron. Then we go into this, which should get rid of all the rest of it. Then, in case any gets through, there's a couple of big bits of Japanese mat in there. Again, they're just because I had them in before, I've put them back. Still waiting to think what I can do with this front section. And then we're going to the business end. So what we have here is marine sources reactor, which I've slightly docked, as I said in the last bit, by putting an air line into the pipework. So basically the air line goes into there, down there, and then you can sort, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see where I've drilled a bit of a bigger hole in the grill so that it goes in, and you can see it's moving it about. In fact, you can maybe see it just down there, maybe just under the water, so you can't. But yeah, so that's bubbling away. I have taken out, as a result, about 3 to 4 litres of that. However, I had 14 litres, so I think I've still got 10 litres in there. So that's still quite a lot of K1 micro, 10 litres of the stuff. As well as, this post is, look how dirty it is, so I've been working here. Deal with that at some point. So, all of this action. So, as you can see, there's all different types of stuff. We've got the big biome at the bottom, which I'm a massive fan of, the big maxi. Under that, there is some matrix, Seachem matrix, more Seachem matrix here. Some Cyperax Micro, some Cyperax Mini, some EAM Bio Mech, some EAM Substrat Pro, some Biome Ultra, some more Cyperax, and that goes all the way back. So it's a big lump, you know. Each one of these bags would fill a tray in a big canister. And there's so much. At the back, I don't know if you can see, I say this big black pipe might get changed, it's just, I wanted to get it going and see if it worked. Down there, I don't know if you can see past the bubbles, because the bubble, obviously the air going in there does have to come out, so it just bubbles the water. So this has been really well oxygenated water. At this side, there's a little pump down there, and there's another max spec brick pulling from right near where it's pulling through. Busy. So yeah, that's bubbling away, nice broth. Then we're going to here, and this is the bubble trap. As a result of not having the K1 in this section, I took the grills I had to build there so it didn't just fall through, and as a result I can have the actual level higher, so the water level's a bit higher in these sections. And then obviously, as you can see, flows into the bubble trap, whereas at the I don't normally have this here. It's normally just got a real coarse sponge, literally just to stop bubbles. But just because I've stirred it all up, I put one of them in, and I've already replaced it once. Within like 10 minutes, it was just brown. And then yeah, so then we've got the 3 eaters, a Senai, which is monitoring all me action. And then, sorry, we're looking through there, and then Ecotech M1. Should have had an S1 really, don't need an M1 for this. This is 10 down to 20%. But I didn't know at the time, I got involved, I never had a Sump. And I thought if I get the big one I can always turn it down because they are adjustable, whereas if I get the little one it wouldn't have been powerful enough, that would have been an issue. But it turns out the little one would have been way overkill for this as well. And as I say, that pumps a 1400 litre an hour. Again, probably could do 700. So I probably will replace that at some point. But as you can see, like, it's bubbling hot, like Pat O'Bantam and Rankin Roger. So basically, that's Sump 2.0. I think my flash has just gone off on my phone. It's whinging about battery. Because my actual camera's out of battery, so I have to charge that. That's why we're doing it on the phone. But yeah, as you can see, bit of a fun time. Quite happy with it. I like it a lot. It's just so much easier to deal with stuff. Now, if I need to clean all this, I just pull it out. Before, if I needed to clean in this section, I'd have to literally with a scoop remove or with a net, just keep pulling that stuff out over and over again. It was so tedious. So I'll put my lid back on there now. I've got the lids on. I just need to build a lid for this. I have my pre-built lids that I built myself because they don't come with lids. So it'd have been brilliant if I'd have had my flash on now, wouldn't it? So what I've got there is just a polycarbonate lid with a couple of holes cut out for bits and bobs. Fits nice. I've got another one here in the darkness there, which used to fit, but now done. And I say I could just cut it, but this section doesn't need to be there anymore because there's no wires coming through there. That's where that's where all the air lines used to come through. But now it just comes out the top there, and we're squared away. So yeah, I've got a plug back. Yay! A socket. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. There you are. Freshwater Sump 2.0.